Careful about that henna. Holiday henna tattoos are a cute little souvenir of days in the sun, but they could also open up a world of pain if you're not careful. Mary Bates found this out the hard way after getting a dream catcher henna tattooed on her ankle during a vacation in Turkey. After about an hour, the tattoo lines on the then 16-year-old's skin became raised. It got worse over time, resulting in blistering, oozing, and a lot of skin peeling. Bates would later find out that she was having a reaction to black henna. Natural henna is entirely safe and made from plant-based ingredients. It hardens and peels off and should leave an orange stain that becomes darker over the next few days. But black henna, contrary to the name, isn't actually henna. It's synthetic black dye that's chock full of the chemical PPD, which is toxic to the skin. The BBC reports that while not everyone will experience a reaction to black henna, the risks can be severe for those that do. Bates had to get steroid treatments and was at the hospital every week for over a month before her ankle got better. Now 19, she's relieved the scar wasn't permanent. Many others, though, have not been so lucky and still bear the scars of a little holiday fun gone wrong. Experts are cautioning tourists to use only henna that's brownish or olive green in color. Anything that's jet black and purports to die instantly should be avoided. Here are more things to watch out for this summer.
Not as harmless as you thought. Doctors in London are warning against the dangers of Nerf guns after at least 3 people suffered serious injuries from getting hit in the eye. Nerf guns are toys that shoot soft foam projectiles. Official replacement bullets are widely available, but generic ones are cheaper. They're also harder and have more potential to cause injury. Nerf video tutorials abound online, with some giving instructions on how to modify the toy gun to make it shoot faster and farther. Patients who were hit in the eye with Nerf projectiles reportedly complained of blurred vision and pain. Doctors later discovered their eyes were inflamed, and blood was pooling in the anterior chamber. Both the cornea and retina had also developed swelling. Fortunately, after being given eye drops, their sight returned to normal in just a few weeks. Such eye trauma may not always lead to permanent vision loss, but could result in a long-term condition like glaucoma. Experts recommend wearing safety glasses to minimize the danger. Nerf manufacturer Hasbro warns people not to aim the guns at people's eyes or face. It's also pretty basic common sense. Still, nothing wrong with being too careful.
5-year-old girl temporarily paralyzed from tick bite. A 5-year-old Mississippi girl was temporarily paralyzed after getting a tick bite during one of her t-ball games. Kaylin Kirk was fine after her game, but when she woke up the next morning, she couldn't walk. When her mother, Jessica Griffin, who posted about the incident over Facebook, started combing through Kaylin's hair, she noticed a tick in her scalp. After consulting with her friend, who is currently deployed in Iraq, she put the tick in a Ziploc bag and rushed Kaylin to the hospital. At the University of Mississippi Medical Center, Kaylin had some blood work and a CT scan. Doctors later diagnosed her with tick paralysis. Tick paralysis is caused when female ticks bite someone on the scalp or at the nape of the neck and release a toxin from their saliva. Tick paralysis is normally very sudden, taking place within 24 hours. To treat tick paralysis, the tick only needs to be removed. People usually recover within a day. According to her mom, Kaylin was a champ through the whole ordeal. She even walked out of the hospital by herself later that evening. Whoa, that's scary. Lacey Grace, a Florida mother, is sharing her daughter's story in the hopes it will save the life of another child from dry drowning. Earlier this month, 4-year-old Eliana Grace was enjoying some swimming time at her grandparents' house in Sarasota, Florida. At the time, Eliana was playing with a pool noodle. While playing in the pool, Eliana's mouth was reportedly around the toy when someone else simultaneously blew through the other end, causing water to shoot directly down Eliana's throat. The child immediately vomited, but 30 minutes later she appeared normal again. Eliana later developed a fever, which eventually subsided. A couple of days later, the fever returned. When Eliana's mother took her to the doctor, she was advised to go to the nearest emergency room immediately. Eliana's heart rate was reportedly running high, her oxygen level was low, and her skin was turning purple. A chest X-ray showed she was suffering from inflammation and an infection from chemicals in the swimming pool. It turns out that Eliana had aspiration pneumonia, also known as dry drowning, a condition that occurs when someone inhales water through the mouth or nose, causing water to enter the lungs. Lacey says she read an article a year earlier about a Texas boy the same age as Eliana who who died from dry drowning, which made her think twice about brushing off her daughter's condition as a common fever children sometimes get. An updated Facebook post from Lacey showed Eliana in her hospital bed smiling and showing a thumbs up sign. She's now recovering at home and expected to be just fine. Whatever you do, stay away from this plant. Virginians are being warned to keep their eyes out for the giant hogweed plant, which can cause third-degree burns and even blindness. 30 of the deadly plants were recently found at a site in Clark County, according to Virginia Tech's Massey Herbarium, although they've been known to grow in other states. Giant hogweeds are huge and invasive. They grow up to 14 feet and have sharply lobed leaves, umbrella-shaped white flowers, and hollow, hairy, purple splotched stems. Their sap contains toxins called furanocoumarins, which can make human skin hypersensitive to sunlight. If not washed and covered immediately, the skin can develop itchy, burning blisters with scarring, discoloration, and sometimes persistent sun sensitivity that can last years. The sap has also been known to cause temporary or permanent blindness when it comes in contact with the eyes. Experts strongly advise against taking out the plant with a weed whacker since the sap could splatter and spread. Physical removal or the use of herbicides is a much more effective, not to mention safer option, or just call it in and leave it to the pros. Parasites and bacteria like lurking in hotel pools. You know, all people do is number 1 and number 2 at hotel pools, right? Ew. According to the CDC's Morbidity and Mortality Weekly Report, hotel pools and hot tubs were linked to a third of all swimming-related disease outbreaks between 2000 to 2014. During that time, a total of 493 outbreaks linked to chlorinated or treated water were reported in 46 states and Puerto Rico. In total, the outbreaks led to over 27,000 illnesses and 8 deaths. Cryptosporidium, also known as crypto, Pseudomonas, and Legionella were responsible for many of the outbreaks. Crypto is a parasite that can survive even in properly maintained pools. Pseudomonas and Legionella are bacteria that can survive disinfectants in slimy areas of hot tubs, pools, and water parks. The CDC report also outlined tips on how to protect from germs while at the pool. The most common sense one being, don't drink the water, Einstein. Do not use these. Earlier this week, Hawaii passed a bill to ban sunscreen containing the common chemicals oxybenzone and octinizate. The bill follows research suggesting sunscreen with such chemicals that don't stick to human skin can hurt coral. Oxybenzone and octinizate can cause genetic damage to coral and other organisms living in the ocean. However, mineral sunscreen that uses zinc oxide or titanium dioxide are still allowed as they block UV rays while remaining environmentally friendly. But how do you know what sunscreen is the mineral kind? Easy. Look for the labels that say naturally sourced and fragrance-free and check the ingredients. In a response to the bill, Hawaii Senator Mike Gabbard said he believes Hawaii is doing the right thing by banning chemical-based sunscreen. He also added the bill will make a huge difference in protecting coral reefs, marine life, and human health.